Goat Squad TV. So, this just really kind of crossed my mind before I was about to crash out for the night. And I was watching a lot of Marcus Smart highlights from his early years in the NBA. So it's like early Marcus Smart. So you're talking like anywhere from 2014 ish to 2017 ish. One thing I gotta be honest with you that I noticed from him, he does not get to the rim nearly enough for a guy that's 6'4", 210 pounds at point guard. And he came in the league, yeah, a lot of people were looking to see if his jump shot was on point. But that dude, if he really wanted to, Marcus Smart would be an all-star if he learned how to get to the rim more and draw fouls. He settles too much for these three-point shots. I know this is nothing new. A lot of you guys really can't stand the fact that he just shoots threes out of nowhere. Sometimes in the middle, and it really hurts the team to his detriment. Well, if Marcus Smart were to learn, instead of shooting those threes to the detriment, cut down the three-point shooting by like 3 shots and use those 3 extra attempts that you use shooting threes and go to the rim and draw fouls the old-fashioned way. Marcus Smart would be an all-star or at least a potential all-star, which was what he was supposed to be coming out of college at that 6th pick. He would be a damn near all-star if he would go to the rim and draw fouls. I don't know why he uses his body, go dive on the floor, do all these things. But like my dude, like you could get to the rim at will. Who at your size, at his size, is gonna stop him at the rim? You know what I mean? You see when he does go to the rim, nobody really ever stops him. He barely misses a layup, he rarely misses a dunk, or he needs to learn to play smarter. And I know that, that's pun intended, but Marcus has to learn to sacrifice a couple of threes in order to get to the rim more. If it was so help Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum in the future, if Marcus Smart would go to the rim more or learn how to have a mid-range J. The dude does post up. Why don't you do that? Doesn't do that nearly enough. Why don't you shoot that little 12-footer? Learn how to have a consistent 12-footer. Have the 3 in your arsenal and get to the rim with ease. It takes so much pressure off Jason and Jaylen because Marcus is a north-south guy. He's not an east-west guy. When I say north-south, I want you guys to understand the context. Isaiah Thomas was a north-south point guard. He wasn't going to try to cross you over. He was just going to go straight to the rack. At 5'6", 5'7", he's listed at 5'9". He's easily about like 5'6", 5'7". That dude used to go to the rim at will, and he would draw fouls. They have like 14, 15 foul shots a game. Terry Rozier, when he was our point guard, whenever Kyrie was out, Terry was never going to try to cross you over, man. Outside of him leaving Eric Bledsoe in the dust at one time in the playoffs, Terry's really a north-south guy. He was either going to go on a fast break, or he was going to attack the rim on a fast break, or he was just going to go and attack the big man off a pick and roll situation, and he was going to do that. He was willing to do the things that would make the system easier for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Because now those guys don't have to worry about standing in corners or standing there waiting for the ball to get to them. You can't double team those guys. You see these idiots like Scout, they want ball movement. Well, if you're going to get ball movement, you need a point guard that can finish at the rim. Kemba Walker, as much as I love Kemba, he's an east-west point guard. Same thing with Kyrie Irving. Those guys are guys that can create their own bucket, but they're east-west point guards, so they're the typical New York New Jersey style of trying to cross you over, east-west type of point guards that destroy ball movement. And the thing is, those type of point guards are great if they're the main focal points of teams. They're not that great if these two things aren't going for them. Either A, they're not that great when they don't have a good supporting cast around. When they have a good supporting cast around them, they don't play well. Or B, if their shot's not falling, it's pretty much curtains because the other two superstars on the team, or superstars, the other two stars on the team, for lack of a better word, are getting double teamed. Marcus Smart needs to hit the gym. He needs to learn. Chauncey Billups needs to be in the gym with him. It's all season. It's just not about shooting the three, man. You got to have a nice arsenal of different moves and different things, but you need to be a north-south point guard. Don't try to be flashy. Marcus has never been good at flashy to begin with. All those little behind the back passes he was doing yesterday, that turned out bad. That's not his game. He needs to learn to know his place and know his place within the offense. And he does that, he'll average easily 17, 18 points a game, which is what we thought he would have averaged out of college if he would just go to the line and earn it the hard way sometimes. He has had 30-point games and 40-point games before. It's not like he's not capable of it. It's just he doesn't play intelligent enough sometimes. Basketball IQ is not great. So if you want to be the starting point guard of this team next year, because I'm getting a really good feeling we're going to probably have to trade Kemba to get any type of significant pieces back for the roster. And I love Kemba, and I don't want, if Kemba hears this or anything, I mean, it's my little small ass channel, ain't gonna hear shit, but if Kemba hears this, whatever, this ain't personal, man. You're a UConn guy. I love you. You know, I love what you did for UConn. But this Celtic Kemba Walker marriage isn't working. I'm not saying you lost a step. I don't think you lost a step. I just don't think your style of play fits what we're trying to do. It just doesn't fit. You don't help enough. You're not much of a help towards Jason and Jalen if they're getting double teamed, if you can't make buckets. And the thing is, they're forcing you to be a three-point shooter when you're not a three-point shooter. You're a mid-range guy at best, and that's what you've always been good at. And you got away with it because you'll be able to hurt them with the mid-range and occasional three with that pick-and-roll system that Charlotte had. You know, it just doesn't work here because Brad doesn't run a pick-and-roll system here. He doesn't run it nearly enough. It's just not really what Brad does. He doesn't, meaning you don't really fit what we're trying to do. So you need the ball to be effective. JT needs the ball to be effective. JB needs the ball to be effective. There's not enough spacing on the court with all three of you guys on the court. This is why I said if Marcus Smart wants to be a starting point guard in this league, for the Celtics or anyone else for that matter, he's going to have to learn to get to the rim more, learn how to be aggressive, draw fouls, and don't try to be pretty with the shit. Get to the damn rim. Earn the refs' respect. Then shoot the three when you need to. But this is null and void for this season. It really don't matter. He's not going to change this year. You know, this season's pretty much a done deal. He gets swept by Brooklyn, but or even if we get a game, get a gentleman's sweep. Marcus has to learn this, man. You're 8 years in the league now, man. Like, you're 6'3", 6'4". You shouldn't be settling just for threes at that point guard position. You're an athletic gem. You want to be, get to the rim. Just get to the rim. Go straight to the rim. Don't worry about, the more you get to the rim, the more success you'll be able to draw fouls. It takes so much pressure off of JB and JT. Go Squad TV.